Earth Live was sponsored by Prince Julian Watch and Bove. Come up shortly on TVB Pearl, getting to the heart of the matter. Stay with us for Straight Talk. Their decisions have changed the world of politics. Their ideas have transformed business and technology. What makes high-caliber leaders tick? Wednesday, Peer to Peer, on Finance Channel 85.
Aptamil 白金版帶嚟白金組合，以領先科學結合多種成分，專利益生元組合 DHA Essential Palmitic Acid。理想組合，讓寶寶開拓自己嘅未來。Aptamil 白金組合，領先一步科學。
Hello。我哋影張相。哦，好啊。高啲啊，高啲。阿強，過嚟幫我打燈啦。唔錯。
送邊款月餅俾佢最啱？有型有格，大班冰皮月餅。
冇啊，聽緊歌啫嘛。
送邊款月餅俾佢最啱？有型有格，大班冰皮月餅。
Three friends, 19 countries, 40,000 kilometers of travel, more than 1 year to do it. A fantastic adventure. From northern Japan to New Zealand, touring China, Southeast Asia, the stunning coast of Borneo, and the South Seas. Friday, Pacific, at 8:30 on Pearl.
Hello, I'm Michael Chigani, and this is Straight Talk. With me today is Professor Arthur Lee. Professor Lee, you are the chairman of the HKU Council, the Governing Council chairman. Thank you once again for coming here. I think you have laryngitis today, huh?
Indeed,
so
Michael.
your voice is a bit hoarse.
But it's still a good evening to you.
Thank you. Now, university, you're the council chairman of Hong Kong University. Universities have been in the news for weeks now. A lot of controversial issues. You've got independence posters. You've got posters mocking the suicide, or the son's suicide of an undersecretary for education. Then you've got mainland students and Hong Kong students jostling and fighting over independence. The heads of 10 universities have issued a statement saying that independence should not be a topic that students should discuss at the universities. Should we discuss independence as part of free speech, or should that be off limits?
Michael, we really have two issues here. One is a moral issue, and one is a legal issue, or legal political issue. Now, I can see that some people are using the lofty ideal of freedom of speech. And by using this lofty ideal, they basically go around doing indecent, immoral, and illegal acts.
What is illegal about saying we want independence?
Well, let's...
And putting up a poster saying that.
Well, let's look back as to say why do you want to be Hong Kong independent? Now, Chris Patten, the doyen of the Democratic camp, has said there's no future in it. Right?
That's correct.
So why do people still want Hong Kong independence? It's very simple. Our young people in the university cannot compete with our mainland students. In terms of scholarships, in terms of prizes, the mainland students are winning all the way. So instead of saying, let's lift our game, let's compete, they're saying, we don't want to play with you anymore. We want to run away. We want to be independent from you, right? It's basically the mentality of losers.
What caused this? You say they're the mentality of losers. Are you saying Hong Kong students are losers?
There are certainly some who are losers, who cannot compete, and instead of trying to raise their game, they're trying to say, I won't play with you. So in essence, these are losers. There's no question about it. Because anyone with an ounce of intelligence, a minuscule of intelligence, will know Hong Kong independence is a non-starter.
Okay, then, Professor Lee.
So what is there to discuss, Michael? You know, our water comes from China, our food comes from China, our trade is dependent on China. Everything have a close relationship with China. So how could you be independent from China? It's a non-starter.
Okay, so it's a non-starter. Does that mean, are you saying, Professor Lee, that they shouldn't discuss it, that those posters should be torn down?
Well, let's put it like this, Michael. If I come out and say, let's discuss whether we should murder our parents to get their inheritance or life insurance so that we can distribute it to the poor and the needy. Now, is that something worth discussing? Surely we got to say, this is immoral. This is illegal.
Is it illegal?
Well, killing your parents is certainly illegal.
No, but putting up independence posters.
Well, first of all, it's against the basic law. It's against our constitution, right? And it's seditious. So the whole purpose...
It is seditious?
Yes. The whole purpose of saying, let's have a debate about this, as if it's very logical, very rational. But what is there to debate? Basically, you're asking for advocacy. It's not a debate. It's advocating independence so that I have a platform to advocate it. And why do you want to advocate it? As I said, you're losers. So why do we want to spend time?
So then what do you think should happen to these students? They put up posters. Now, people have said, Carrie Lam herself has said, let the university handle it. And the universities themselves have said they were not going to call the police in to handle things like that.
Some universities.
Some universities. Okay, now you're the council chairman of University of Hong Kong. Let me ask you this, Professor Lee. What should students face if they do things like that? You said they're losers, to put up posters, it's illegal, it's a waste of time. Should these students be expelled?
Well, let me put it like this, Michael. If I firmly believe in an ideal, I would put my name to it. So I would put it to the students who want to put up these posters, by all means. I respect your ideals, but sign your name underneath it and see what happens. Right? Don't hide behind
if they
anonymity.
Put their names on it,
don't hide behind anonymity and go and slander people and go and do cruel things to other people, right? If you believe that you want to congratulate Christine Choi, put your name to it and let's see what our society, our values, our community will think about that.
But should the university take punitive action if they put their names on it, if they're identified?
If they should come out and be responsible for the action. People should be responsible for the action. But this is cowardly, to be slandering people, to be cruel to people, right? And take no responsibility whatsoever. This is a sign of coward. This is why I put them as losers.
Okay, but should the university take action when they are identified?
I think the university has a duty. Because if you
what
put up...
action?
Well, if you put up something illegal within the university management has the responsibility, right? So the university could be prosecuted for putting up illegal structures.
So the university should take action against these students?
Well, the university should take appropriate action.
What is appropriate action for putting up a poster calling for independence or mocking the suicide of somebody?
I think first of all you have to find out if you can identify them or not. If you can't identify them, there's very little you can do other than to take it down, right? But if you can identify it, then I think you've got to take appropriate disciplinary action. It's for the simple reason we all agree that it is immoral and cruel to be congratulating people who've lost a child.
Sure. Now, you say take down posters. There are independence posters up at various universities. The students say it's freedom of speech. Some of the universities say they want to tear it down. In your opinion, Professor Lee, should such posters be taken down?
I believe such posters should be taken down.
They should be taken down.
Yes, simple reason. Because first of all, they serve no purpose. And as I said, it's hiding behind lofty ideal of freedom of speech in order to denigrate our Constitution.
Okay, now if you take it down, people have accused you, Professor Lee, when you first became chairman, that you had a mission to undermine academic freedom. You say that these posters should be taken down. If they are taken down, they'll say, there you go, we were right. Professor Lee says that these posters should be taken down. They're taking away our academic freedom.
But it's nothing to do with academic, is it? It's nothing to do with freedom. When you commit something that is illegal, that is morally wrong, I think we have a responsibility as teachers to tell our students that what you're doing is wrong. Like you have to tell our students that it is unacceptable to be cruel to another human being.
Sure.
These are our basic core values. It's got nothing to do with freedom or academic freedom or freedom of speech. This is just basic humanity. And don't forget, many of these students are going to be the teachers of our next generation. And people have asked, do you want your children to be taught by people with such morals?
Well, now, yeah, that's exactly right. But then, going back to the Hong Kong University, Benny Tai, one of the organizers of Occupy Central, Junior So, a legislative councillor, said that he should be fired. When Junior So organized a signature campaign, he had 80,000 signatures. Benny Tai and others said that was cultural revolution tactics. Is collecting signatures to say a person should not work at the university because that person is an activist asking students to take part in Occupy Central. Is that cultural revolution?
No, it's not. It's very simple, Michael. University has its way and procedures, proper procedures of going about doing things. I was attacked by saying that I did not appoint a certain professor to be pro-vice chancellor. Simply because certain political party wants to install him. But we resisted that because we have university autonomy. No different. Now we have the other side saying you should fire a certain professor. Again, I would stand by that we have university autonomy and that we will stand by it and we will follow proper procedures. Now, as far as I know, and I've checked that with the Vice Chancellor, who have checked it with the Dean of Law, that Mr. Tai had at no time asked a student to participate in Occupy Central during his lectures. Right? So therefore, you can't say that he has done something that is against the university rules and regulation.
Okay, now let's take a quick break. See you soon. Don't go away.
Costing over $200 million and making us wait 10 years for it. The latest MIB sequel can be summarized in one epic line.
I'm going back in time to kill a man.
What? You can say that again, but does it really matter when all fans want to see is Will Smith kick alien ass?
Hey! Oh, God. Saturday, Men in Black 3 on Pearl's Weekend Blockbuster.
This is a very confusing time in my life.
打波先嚟落雨，比賽先嚟拗柴，
着新鞋先嚟踢花，考試先嚟失手，
臨過關先嚟跳掣，
做 project 先嚟玩失蹤，
空肚先嚟冇早餐食，
激氣過後，諗翻轉頭，頭先只係芝麻綠豆嘅小事。面對難題不氣餒，他朝成就必定非凡。
而家食好啲，聽日實食到早餐嘅。
Is speed the only thing that matters? SmartTone 5S, taking the mobile experience to the next level. From speed to service. SmartTone, the powerful network.
歌声飘到秋月上，月儿倒在湖船中。
傳統之美，奇華至尊月餅。想寶寶吸收天然營養，健康成長。荷蘭美素佳怡，源於天然，薈萃科研，保存天然營養，消化輕鬆好 easy。荷蘭美素佳怡。
I love you. Prove it.
And you? What would you do for love? Miss Dior, the new eau de parfum, Dior.
When it comes to parenting, just how much is too much?
You want to give opportunity to your kids, sign up to everything. And
I'm always hoping for an A, maybe an A+.
Healthy parenting is about allowing your children to live their own lives and not living your life through them.
Thursday, Frantic Family Rescue at 9:30 on Pearl. In Paris, love is in the air.
He is the Emperor of Paris, the peregrine falcon. More powerful than any man-made radar, his antennae are ultra-sensitive to the faintest scent.
Tonight, Orient to Watch Company presents Paris, A Wild Story at 9:35 on Pearl Spectacular.
Thanks for sticking around. This is Straight Talk with Professor Arthur Lee. Now, Professor Lee, when Junius Ho got 80,000 signatures, and he also organized a rally on Sunday saying that Benny Tai should be fired, you said, as far as you know, during lectures, Benny Tai never asked students to take part in Occupy Central. Fine. Now, a couple of years back, when you were appointed the chairman of the Hong Kong University Governing Council, and students had opposed your appointment. Actually, you were here on this show, remember, a few days after that. There was a lot of violence. People had rushed into the council room. People were knocked about. People were knocked to the floor. A lot of violence. And when you said that the students were behaving like Red Guards and so on, you were attacked for saying that that was cultural revolution. Okay. Now, when Junius Ho say that Benny Tai should be fired, the people who criticize you for saying it was cultural revolution for students to behave that way are now saying it is cultural revolution for Junius Ho to get 80,000 signatures. Is that a double standard?
It is very much a double standard. First of all, Junius Ho has never resorted to any form of violence. He asked for signature campaign, he has rallied, but he never attacked any member of the university.
No.
Right? So how could you say it's a cultural revolution? On the other hand, where we experienced was that we were locked in a room. We were not allowed to leave. We were not allowed to go to the toilet. Right? We were prisoners. We were made.
And that's what made you say that they were behaving like Red Guards.
Well, some members of our university council was told that they have to kneel down. If they want to leave, they have to kneel down and apologize before they're allowed to leave.
Did you kneel down?
I did not kneel down.
Did anybody kneel down?
Nobody kneeled down, but they weren't allowed to leave. Right?
Okay, now that you said was cultural revolution.
That, to me,
but
was
80,000 signatures is not cultural revolution.
You can have 100,000, it's still not cultural revolution.
Now, Professor Lee, you said earlier that some of the Hong Kong students are losers. They cannot compete with mainland students. There was some kind of a scuffle at one of the universities between mainland students and Hong Kong students. Mainland students wanted to tear down those independence posters. When we have this kind of conflict between mainland students and Hong Kong students, surely it doesn't bode well for our future. And if you say that the mainland students are outdoing the Hong Kong students, what is the solution to ease this friction, to accept less mainland students?
No, I don't think so. To be quite honest, I always maintain that the university should admit the best students possible. And I mean the best student possible. You take Harvard, they don't just admit students from Boston or from Massachusetts. They take them from all over the world. In Hong Kong, we have a limit. For the UGC-funded university, we cannot take more than 20% of non-Hong Kong students.
But the majority of those are from the mainland.
The majority are from the mainland.
Is that good for Hong Kong?
Well, we also take in overseas students as well. But being so close to China is inevitable that the majority, the very top students, come down from China. And when they come down, these are hardworking students. They're bright. I mean, 1.3 billion people, and you select really the creme de la creme. And they compete. And quite honestly, they have no problem in getting jobs afterwards in Hong Kong. They have no problem in winning scholarships or awards. And when you have to compete with these elite, you feel inadequate. And one way is to say, okay, I'm going to lift my game. I'm going to try harder. Why should I be second best to them? I must do better.
But isn't that...
But they're not able to. And
Hong Kong students are not able to.
Some Hong Kong students are not able to, some. And then they say, oh, well, in that case, I won't play with them. I'll be independent. I'll keep away from them. I'll run away.
But is that what is radicalizing Hong Kong students? They've become more radicalized, they've become more politicized. Who do you blame for that? You say that people like Benny Tai did not, during lectures, ask people to join Occupy Central, but in his private life, in his personal life, he did organize Occupy Central, and a lot of students joined Occupy Central. Who do you blame for students being so radicalized in the past few years in Hong Kong?
I shouldn't use the word blame, but I would think that young people tend to look to us as an example, how we behave. And when you look at legislative councillors using foul language, behaving the way they do in LegCo, throwing things around, they think this is acceptable, right? They think this is perfectly all right to be swearing in public, and no one actually come out and say, look, this is not right. This is wrong. And I think when we talk about education, it's not just at school or at university. The family is very important. And many of these so-called student activists, if I could use the term, come from very broken families. There's no example at home to teach them moral values.
Have our youth lost moral values?
I think for a lot of people, they have lost their compass as to what is right and what is wrong.
What is the solution, Professor Lee?
The solution is to strengthen the family values, to strengthen family unit, right? Because you can see our divorce rates has gone up. People are unhappy.
People are not saying that that's the solution. A lot of people are saying the solution is we should have full, genuine democracy in Hong Kong. That will be the solution.
The purpose of democracy is to allow us to have freedom. And you can't say that you have democracy in Singapore, but you have far less freedom. In Hong Kong, we have a lot of freedom, right? And half of legislature is elected by universal suffrage. And if we had allowed it, we would have got universal suffrage.
But we didn't for the chief
sadly,
executive.
we didn't. Right?
Now, you know, Chris Patten, the former governor, is in Hong Kong. When three young activists, one of them actually formerly from the Hong Kong University, were jailed after the government appealed against a community service sentence, Christopher Patten more or less hinted that our judicial independence has been affected. When the former governor of Hong Kong says that, many LegCo members in Hong Kong, so-called opposition people, have said that our judges are no longer independent. But when the former governor says that, how does that make you feel? Do you think that our judges have actually now come under the thumb of Beijing?
Not at all. I think our judiciary is extremely independent and has a will of its own. I think it's sad that whenever the judiciary comes out with a verdict that you don't like, you start attacking them. But quite honestly, if you look at our judiciary, they have been more than fair to both sides of the argument. And they basically strictly adhere to the law. And they interpret the law. And quite honestly, if you say that the free appeal court judges are wrong in sentencing the free activists, then why was there an appeal? The appeal was made by Rimsky-Yuen.
Right.
Right? And it was successful. In other words, that the court felt that the sentence given to them earlier was not sufficient.
So what?
Now, the other important point is that they were found guilty. They didn't appeal against a guilty verdict. In other words, what you're appealing is a sentence and not the verdict. So if somebody is guilty, right, it's just a question of the degree of punishment that they should have, not whether they should be punished or not.
So how does it make you feel when the former governor of Hong Kong, Chris Patten, questions the independence of our judiciary and questions the reason behind appealing?
Well, I have a lot of respect for Mr. Chris Patten, but quite honestly, if you look at the way he runs the BBC, and the way, with the disparity in the wages between the upper echelon and the gender difference, I think he still has his plate full, and I hope that he would concentrate on what he should be doing in Britain rather than interfere in Hong Kong's internal affairs.
So you think he is interfering in Hong Kong's internal affairs?
Of course he is.
He's here now for a few days.
Yes.
And he shouldn't be talking about politics in Hong Kong.
No, he's free to talk about politics in Hong Kong. He's a very well-respected individual. But I think we should look at what he says with a pinch of salt.
I've got 1 minute left, Professor Lee. I'm going to ask you one last question here. When you were appointed the council chairman at HKU, it created a big controversy. Many people said that the chief executive should no longer appoint the council chairman of Hong Kong University or other universities. Should the chief executive continue to hold that right?
Well, we have examined that very issue, and the conclusion comes to us is that yes, he should have that right to appoint the council chairman, but at the same time, it will be up to council to liaise with him, to conduct consultation with him or her in order as who should be the chairman. So it's a two-way thing. It's not purely the chief executive say, I will appoint X and you will take X. Basically, now we have a two-way communication.
So the thing is, the chief executive should still continue to appoint the council chairman based on consultation with the council.
Correct.
Thanks for watching. See you next time. Good evening.
You're watching TVB Pearl. Out shortly, it's a bilingual presentation. Secret Life of Dogs. Is this new flat any good? Our building experts will give a score based on the flat's build quality, finishing, as well as interior materials. Also on Money Magazine, time again for two equity market investment experts to go head-to-head in our monthly selection of stocks that are worth buying. Friday night at 8 on Pearl. Or Interwatch Company presents World Market Update. Monday to Friday night before the news roundup on Pearl.
Like other global economies, we will have a high-speed railway that will serve generations to come. The Hong Kong section of the Guangzhou-Shenzhen-Hong Kong Express Rail Link will open in 2018, reducing rail journey times to mainland cities by more than half, and boosting exchanges in tourism, commerce, professional services, education and culture. The link will also build closer bonds between people and strengthen Hong Kong's role as a regional transport hub. Better connections unleash endless potential.
MyTV Super 雲集世界各地紀錄片，專家探索7500萬年外星證據。
外星人的確好可能同我哋好相似，
透視地球嘅天地人，以歷史作為背景，展示自然奇觀。鏡頭下真實感受野生動物嘅力量同美態，好壯觀！粵語配音，部分以 4K 畫質播放。快啲去買 MyTV Super 解密器，至尊版只要1880蚊就睇足12個月啦！
想寶寶吸收天然營養，健康成長。荷蘭美素佳怡，源於天然，薈萃科研，保存天然營養，消化輕鬆好 easy。荷蘭美素佳怡。
Planter 39 Caffeine Shampoo. Most women saw less hair loss when showering or brushing. It's especially popular with women over 40. Available exclusively at Manning's. Planter 39, Germany's #1 women's shampoo in drugstores.
送邊款月餅俾佢最啱？有型有格，大班冰皮月餅。送邊款月餅俾佢最啱？有型有格，大班冰皮月餅。
I love you. Prove it.
And you? What would you do for love? Miss Dior, the new eau de parfum, Dior.
The Heineken family passed down a special gift. An original recipe with only 3 ingredients and all of them natural. I also have a special gift. The ability to cry on demand. It's beautiful. There's more behind the star.
So we're going to the party tonight. Cops or ghosts, your choice. I don't want to be a ghost. Let's be cops. People actually think we're Boys, open up!
Thank God you're here.
Oh yeah, thank God we are here.
It's my sorority sisters.
Sorority sisters.
Oh, no! What the hell?
Relax! Control the situation!
Sunday, let's be cops on Pearl's Weekend Blockbuster.
Sealy Mattress. Support you trust, comfort your love. Now, up to 50% off.
Baby, you with us?
What's she listening to?
Tequila.
Dogs. They're loyal, fun, loving, and brilliant companions. No wonder they're man's best friend. Yet they descended from the wildest of predators. So how did the much-feared wolf become the much-loved dog in the heart of our homes? To find out, we travel the world to bring you the most remarkable stories and the latest scientific discoveries that reveal how dogs have become our closest companions, unrivaled working partners, and trusted family members. Tonight, we reveal how the wolf in every dog makes them the perfect family pet.
Seiko's a hero. Seiko saved my son.
How over thousands of